everybody. Welcome to an episode of what are we on? War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast, roundtable podcast. I almost did Star Wars Canon Library. My bad, guys. On this show, this is the only show where we are going to cram some Star Wars into your no-no hole. Guys, I've got a great panel with us right now. First off, I have got Christopher Tali. How you doing today, bud?
Oh, you're about to get some Star Wars information all up on your face, neck, and chest.
Oh, God.
Love.
Also, we've got our tech girl, Christina Tali.
How y'all doing?
We've got Matt Cruz.
And I love it. I get no intro there. Gaming XP host. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, bud. Shit. All right. And then,
ouch.
Host of Sith Lord 310, we have got Mario Hernandez. How's it going, bud?
Hey, guys.
Hey, sadly, Mark Tali couldn't be a part of this today. He did have a little bit of a situation in the family. So our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family right now. But he said to go on and carry on with the show without him. So that is exactly what we're going to do, and we're going to have a good time doing it. So we've got a few things we want to talk about on this episode tonight, and I definitely want to hear everybody's opinions on this. I definitely want to hear Chris's opinion on one of these, so we'll get to it, though. First off, I want to talk a little bit about this Forces of Destiny series that they've come out with now.
Oh, that was fun.
I think for the most part, all of us have seen all of them. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've seen all of
cool.
them.
That's perfect. Then we can talk about this then. Right off the bat, I'm going to go straight to, let's see, who am I going to go to? Let's go to Mario first, because Mario didn't talk a whole lot on the last time he was on a video with us. So, Mario, you've watched Forces of Destiny so far. What did you think of them?
I think as episodes go on, they get better. Well, to me at least. Certain episodes, I believe the one with Ahsoka and Padme, that felt straight out of the Clone Wars to me. And there are certain episodes, and especially in the beginning, to me, that are just kind of throwaway episodes, like episodes that don't really have anything to do with the major story. There's just these really sidetracked, like the first episode with Rey and the monster thing that in Jakku.
Night Watcher.
Night Watchers, yeah.
Yeah, that was just completely pointless. But to me, the episodes are getting better as they go along. I'm not going to talk about the Hoth, the Rebel Echo Base situation.
Yeah, let's not.
But yeah.
Oh, but come on, the Hoth, the Wampa was cuddling Chewbacca like a teddy bear.
I know.
It was so funny. Chewbacca just had this look like, just shoot me now, kill me, please.
Yes, the look on his face, you felt so hot. You felt so bad for him.
The look on Chewbacca's face, I was waiting for Leia to hold up a little Wampa teddy bear and say, okay, Chewie, show me where he touched you.
I know, right?
Well, no, technically, if you think about it, though, Chewie is kind of a big coward. Because, I mean, in A New Hope, when they got out of the garbage pit, he was afraid of the Diag Noga once they got out. And even Han was like, come here, you big coward. Chewie, come here. And he wouldn't do it. He's over there. You know, so it does kind of play into what Chewie actually, who he was.
True. No, I give it that.
I just don't like that Forces of Destiny episode at all, to be honest. Matt, what did you think?
Oh, I didn't mind the BB-8 episodes and Rey. I mean, they were okay. I mean, I think it just showed an interesting side to her and how she kind of outwitted her pursuers. So I kind of like that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I've liked it so far. I mean, the Chewbacca episode that was kind of funny. I'm sorry, but I like the fact that Leia was thinking fast on her feet and they were working like they. And as always, epic fail on the power core situation.
And R2 to save the day.
Exactly, R2 saving the day again. I was like, okay, this is typical, but at least they got it done, and it shows how fast they can work together. So I really like that episode. And yeah, that episode with Ahsoka and Amidala, I swear to God, I think they're using Genny Tartakovsky's artist because it looks so much like the Clone Wars that he did. I mean, I gotta look into that. I'm serious, but I like the animation style, and I like the little mini stories. They're just, you know, they're if you like them, yay. If not, hey, it's only 2 minutes of your life.
Mm-hmm. Christina,
I actually liked them. The Rey one, I understood. I mean, it was just a filler story between, you know, from when BB-8 was originally being captured in Force Awakens to when she returned back to the outpost. The first Leia story, I think there needs to be a follow-up on that to fix that, because there's still it's incomplete. It doesn't feel there. The Jyn Erso story was awesome. The first one with Ahsoka was awesome as well. Like, her battling that droid was great. The Padme and you're right. The Padme and Ahsoka one felt like something straight out of Clone Wars. I really liked the Jyn Erso one as well because it's just showed her how much she did not, even back before she joined the rebellion, she just didn't like the Imperials. And I think the most recent one was the Sabine and Leia. That one was the best one so far in my opinion. It was Leia to a T. Like, that was true Leia. Her playing both sides of the field, being that double agent. And it was just... And then also the fact IG-88 popped up was freaking great too. And you can tell even the stormtroopers were a horrible shot there as well.
IG-88 is Snoke.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God, here we go.
No, you know what? Actually, I'm going to spoil it for you right now. We know who Snoke is. Snoke is Chris Tali.
After a makeover.
Felt it.
Speaking of Chris Tali, what did you think of Forces of Destiny, man?
I agree with the Sabine and Leia. I think that was the first time Leia was actually represented right in this show. I absolutely despise Leia's other 2 episodes. Leia is not a Disney princess worrying about dresses. I actually did not like the Jyn Erso one. It was Jyn rescuing a cat from a tree episode is really what it was. I absolutely despise that. It was too... I understand these are made for kids, but it was just too kiddish to me. That it kind of betrayed Jyn's character. Especially when you go back and watch Rogue One. Jyn didn't even want to give her a proper name to, like, the rebellion when they rescued her from the Imperial transport. But she'll just, hey, here's a kitty. My name's Jyn Erso. It didn't feel right to me at all.
Yeah, but that was a little child as well. Just saying. And also, we don't know where in the timeline it falls before she started having to use fake persona.
But the long and the short of it is, I do enjoy the series. I do accept it for what it is. There are stronger episodes like the Sabine and Leia, the Ahsoka and Padme. And, of course, the standalone Ahsoka, but the only complaint I have on that is, what the fuck did they do to Anakin?
I know! Oh, my God.
Anakin looked like he was the product of, like, spousal abuse for the last 15 years.
And then got Botox to try to cover it up.
The one part I will say on that episode real quick, which was hysterical, though, was when they're sitting there waiting for Ahsoka to show up, it just, Yoda's sitting the entire time. She'll be here anytime. Anytime now, she'll be here. It's just hysterical.
Wait, you must have in your apprentice.
He knew what was going on. I mean, it's Yoda.
But still, it was just funny, though. It was like some bad comedy.
So far, for me, the funniest part in any of them have been the stormtroopers. Like, even the one with Leia and Wicket, the one that we universally really didn't care for. Even when they're like harassing the 2 Ewoks and they're like, "Is this a weapon?" And they're looking back down at him like I laughed at that. And then with the Sabine and Leia one, when she slides the bomb out there in front of the stormtroopers and it blows up and she takes Leia, and then the stormtroopers are like, "Is this paint?" like what? I loved it. I laughed at the stormtroopers. It was really funny. It just, to me, I don't know. Let me ask you guys this. We don't know how much longer this series is going to go on. We don't know how many episodes it's going to be. I think it's, 8 episodes right now?
Yeah.
I think is what it's at. We still haven't seen any Asajj Ventress, which is going to be in it. We haven't seen any Aura Singh. So we know there's more episodes. We haven't seen Hera yet. So we know there's more episodes coming. Which ones do you guys think are the ones to look forward to the most?
Hera.
That's what I was just about to say, Hera.
Well, I have a fondness with Twi'leks anyway, and Hera's freaking awesome, so I love to see what they're going to do.
I'll go the opposite. You see, Hera we get out of Rebels. I want to see more of Aurora Singh.
Yeah.
That's an unsung hero out of the ones that you just mentioned. We know Asajj Ventress. We know Hera. We don't really know Aurora Singh.
Mm-hmm. Mario?
I have to agree with Chris. I just want to see what they're gonna mention. If they're gonna pull in something from the Clone Wars, or for her bounty hunter group, or if we're gonna see. I mean, this is a gateway for them to possibly show Bosk or young Boba, depending on where it takes place. So yeah.
I got a question for everybody for Forces of Destiny. There's only so many stories they can I know it's kind of geared towards the women of Star Wars, but there's only so many stories you could tell that still kind of play within the canon. Would you be upset or disappointed if they kind of ran out of stories and decided to bring some of the male characters, but not like Han, Luke, whatever, but like some of the other backstory characters, like maybe something with Wedge, for the sake of argument, into the Forces of Destiny in little shorts?
Yes. I would actually, because here's the thing. Like, as we first discussed, when we first started discussing, I don't remember what show we were talking about or not, because we've talked about this on so many different shows at this point, so I apologize, but
last time on Rome,
girls need positive role models to show that, hey, you know something? You don't have to all be about, oh my god, do I look cute in this? And that's the one thing we need. And this is one thing this show is doing. Star Wars has tons of male heroes already. Tons of them. And the thing is, it's nice to actually have a Star Wars, which is singing, is actually going towards this female heroes and everything else of Star Wars. So if they change it, if they cop out and start going towards the male stories, then no, I'm not going to be happy about it at all.
Let me read.
Actually, you know what? There's one female we forgot.
Okay.
Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
Well,
I just thought, I was sitting here thinking about it. I was like, you were talking about side characters, and I'm sitting there going, there's one female they've forgotten, Mon Mothma. I mean, because I know it'd be more political, but think about how many devil's advocates she could play, playing with the minds of other people while she's putting on the facade of what they think she is, and she's really one of the main leaders of the rebels. I mean, there's a lot of possibility there. Sorry, it was that random thought.
No, you're right.
Sorry.
What about Yaddle?
Wow, that would be weird.
Should they bring in characters from like the books or something, like Ray Sloan?
That would be a good idea. I
think that's a great idea.
I could definitely get behind that. Bring some of that in canon. Because as soon as you bring those characters in canon, their stories become canon. So yeah, I'm all for that.
Well, Ray Sloan is already canon.
True.
But even if let's say they were to bring Mara Jade into it, just because they brought Mara Jade in doesn't mean all the stories with Mara Jade in it are canon then.
But now Mara Jade is canon, so they
but the character itself would be right. Then they could do a new canon version. Right. And do you guys think that's a possibility? They could be getting ready to surprise us with a Legends drop of a female character and something like that?
Don't tease me like that. Don't tease me like that.
Oh, that would be amazing, though. It would be amazing.
Smart. I think that would be smart, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Smart.
It would be definitely a new direction. Definitely a new direction.
There probably are other characters they could bring. But to correct Christina on the one thing about my question, I didn't say change the format and cop out. I said they run out of stories for the female characters, and to rather than not kill the series because they have no more stories, they started opening it up to the other types of characters.
If Disney gets to the point where they're running out of 2-minute stories to tell, we got bigger problems than just Forces of Destiny.
This is true.
Yep.
I mean, we really do. I mean, because if you can't come up with a 2-minute story, how the hell are you going to come up with a 2-hour story for a standalone film?
Got a point.
You know what I mean? I think if they get to the point where they don't really have any stories to tell, they just cut the series.
Okay.
But that's just me personally. I'm not saying you're wrong, Chris. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm
not saying I'm right or wrong either. I just wanted to know people's opinions of it.
I think if they started bringing more men in, I think it would kind of, I don't know, it would kind of be a slap in the face to what Forces of Destiny is supposed to be and what it was meant to be.
Okay.
And also, well, I like the idea that they're doing the female stories and that they need that other stuff. But if they're gonna bring in the male characters, then make it its own little series on its own. I mean, they could, if anything, then they could have a secondary series and then weave the stories in to give us, instead of maybe 5 minutes, give us like a 10-minute episode.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sorry, and then we can keep them separate, touch them on a little bit, just a little touch, and then go back to their own worlds. Well, it's the same universe, but their own adventures. I mean, why, I mean, don't make it, you got Forces of Destiny. Why not make, the destiny of the chosen,
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I just had a thought. What if Forces of Destiny is where we finally learn the long story for another time from Maz Kanata on how she got Luke's lightsaber?
Okay, here's the thing.
Oh, that would fit right perfect in there.
But here's the thing, though. That story is one that you got to walk this fine line with the audience that you start to target with that story, because that was a big thing that I know a lot of people were pissed off about in The Force Awakens, was like, how did Maz get the lightsaber? They didn't touch on that. They didn't explain that. But then to the casual fan who's watching the movie and that's bugging him, they're going to be like, I have to watch a children's show on Disney XD to find out how he got it. You would think something like that they addressed directly in the film would be addressed later on in another film. What wouldn't you think? Or I could be wrong. What do you guys think?
Well, I think I agree with you because of the casual fan, but at the same time, how many things have been fixed in Star Wars through books, through comic books, through Clone Wars, through Rebels? And the casual fan could say the exact same thing. It's like, I got to watch a fucking kids show or read a comic book to know why this is this.
No, you're completely right. You're absolutely right.
And you know something? I'm sorry. If you want to find out the answers and you have a problem watching the kids show, then I guess you don't want to find out the answer bad enough.
Right. That's another good attitude to have.
Of course, there is another way. You can always tune into shows like War of the Stars, and we'll tell you all about it.
Yay! And Star Wars.
Yay!
And Sith Lord 310.
See that?
Yeah,
that's a win-win for all of us.
we got you all covered.
And even breaking the fourth wall, because we even touch on Star Wars quite often on there too.
That is true.
So if you're basically Realm of the Mist in general and all its subsidiaries, if you are too damn lazy to read a book or watch a TV show, hit that subscribe button. We'll take care of you.
Hell, drop it.
In one way, shape, or form, we will take care of you.
We have shows. We have shows to fit everyone's taste. So just
put it in the comments below. We'll read.
You know,
we got time.
Mario's got you covered on the movies. I got you covered on the canon. Matt's got you covered on the comic books. Chris has got you covered if your wife is mad at you and making you sleep on the couch. So, we've got you covered in every aspect of your life.
Oh, I don't have anything? Okay.
You recording.
You're recording. You're recording everything.
I also have my own show, too, so thank you.
She recorded while your wife's mad at you.
Ouch.
That hurts.
I'm sorry. Crap. I feel bad.
She's got that trans geek girl. She's got the tech shit covered.
Yeah.
And I got the tech stuff covered. Well, Trans Geek Girl covers everything geek.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Everything geek. So.
But what I meant was exactly what I meant is you don't have one single focus medium.
I hate everything.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, right. Like, if you're having problems with your computer and you don't want to talk to Indian tech support, call Christina. She's got you covered. I got you.
Gee, thanks.
Good Indonesian accent though, so I mean, if you're feeling kind of left out,
Hello, my name is Peggy.
How may I help you?
Hello, my name is Peggy.
Oh God, that was bad.
Oh, we went
Thank you for
completely
calling
off.
Realm of the Mist Entertainment.
Oh God,
May I help you?
we're gonna get so sued.
No,
so
get away from my slushy machine. Thank you. Come again.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I didn't mean for it to go there. We got to change subject. All right, so this another topic I wanted to talk about was this is one that a lot of fans have been debating for years now, and I kind of want to hear these guys' opinions on it. And guys, feel free to comment below also with your theories and your opinions in that comment section down there. Do you guys think, and why? Do you guys think Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit?
Ooh.
Yay!
Let's start with Matt. He looked pretty excited.
Yes, because if you can see the hat right there, there's Boba right there,
Mm-hmm.
and then Boba all up and down here, and Boba right there. Well, I think he survived because actually it
He wasn't even
explains it.
looking.
It actually explains in Tales from Jabba's Palace how he got out and who rescued him actually, because remember Leia wasn't the only one carrying a thermal detonator, and it said that he had a couple of those on, and his Mandalorian armor did not. Unfortunately, after that, his Mandalorian armor was toast. And if you read Tales from Jabba's Palace, actually he was found by Dengar because he was going out to try and rescue his girl who was on Jabba's freighter, and he somehow missed the boat because if you missed the sail barge, if you were looking in the background, you won't find Dengar anywhere on there, and it actually follows with the movies that he was crossing the desert and happened to come across someone he recognized right away, and he threw him on the back of his swoop bike and dragged him back to Jabba's palace and kind of nursed him back to health and offered him to be the best man at his wedding with his new Twi'lek bride. Bet you didn't know that.
I did.
Oh, damn it! I just recited a whole story. He's like sitting there going,
But a lot of people don't know that because that's EU. In canon, though.
I know, unfortunately, it's legend.
I know. It sucks because there's so much stuff. Even as a canon junkie, there's so many things in EU that I want to be canon, and Fett surviving is one of them. But do you think he's alive in canon, Matt?
I think he would be because I think he would be because he had some serious survival skills, and all his stories speak of that. So he wasn't. I mean, yeah, could he survive that? I mean, we've seen other people survive giant monsters eating them by just missing the teeth and just getting swallowed whole and saying, "I got what I need to get the hell out of here." You know,
Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black.
There you go.
So, Mario, what do you think, bud? Do you think Boba Fett made it out? Do you think he's Sarlacc shit at this point? What do you think?
I think he made it out. Can we spoil something from the books?
I planned on it, yeah. Go for it.
Okay. I'm going to steer it thunder, yeah. But in Aftermath, we have someone who comes out who's in, the Dune Sea, and then he finds this Mandalorian armor that the Jawas have in their secret, their black market room. And then he buys it. I believe his name is Cobb Vanth, something like that.
I think so. Hang on. Keep talking. I can find it.
Yeah, and then he pretty much just wears the armor and kind of polices, Tatooine. It doesn't say that he's Boba, but I believe that this is Boba. It fits the time age and everything. And yeah, I don't think he's gonna become, Boba Fett again and go out trying to find, well, not Han anymore. But I don't think he's gonna be a bounty hunter anymore. I think he's just gonna slowly just live a small life on Tatooine and just slowly pass away. But yes, I think he's alive.
Christina?
I'm gonna have to say the opposite of everyone else and say no.
You're no good to me dead.
I do think he perished in the Sarlacc. The Sarlacc is a one-way butthole that in the sand that you will never come back from. I am sorry, like it's a spiky butthole and he went right down the throat. Like it's that you're not climbing out of that. Like, and I'm sure that Sarlacc has defense mechanisms where you can't easily get out of, and I'm pretty sure a creature that size, a thermal detonator, will probably hurt it, but either way, you're probably going to kill yourself in the process. So, yes, I think Boba Fett spent that 1,000-year digestion cycle and became Sarlacc kibble.
It was Cobb Vanth. Good call. Yeah, that's who it was. Chris, what do you think?
I think if Disney and Lucasfilm decide to make Boba Fett survive the Sarlacc pit, then in Episode 8, they need to make Jar Jar Binks reappear as a main freaking character, because we need to restore balance back in the Force. If you're going to fan service a useless character like Boba Fett, you might as well bring Jar Jar back. Boba was a joke. Did he look cool? Yes. But I'm not talking about the expanded universe. I'm not talking about the comic books. I'm talking about the movies. The movies, he had 4 lines. One of them was, ah!
Way to rip off Epic Rap Battles of History there, Chris.
Rip it off because it's the God's honest truth. And then you top off the fact that his biggest fight that he was in, he gets poked with a stick by a blind guy and, like you said, shot up into a poop chute. And that's the end of him. He was a punk. Jango was cooler than Boba. I'm sorry. No, don't bring him back. He's dead. Goodbye. Move on.
Christina, how do you kick people off of a Skype call?
Oh, it's very easy. Just go over their name. There's a little hang-up button. Just click the hang-up button.
Damn.
Oh boy. Anyway, okay. Here's the thing. I kind of agree with everybody, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. Mario's completely correct when he says that there was Mandalorian armor in a Jawa sandcrawler, and that this guy who was a sheriff of a town decided to wear it as his own armor. But when it says that armor was pulled from the Sarlacc, there was also skeletons and weapons. There was nothing living. So, did Boba make it out without the armor? And would he have left the armor behind if he was going to take off? I don't know. So, part of me is wondering if he's not dead. And they just don't want to tell us yet.
Remember, he was attached to that armor, too, because it was the same armor his dad wore. So I don't think he would just leave it behind to answer your comment there.
Right. And then the thing that Chris brought up about getting taken out by a blind guy, that happened. Yeah, I don't dispute that at all. But, that's the first time that we know of, well, maybe in a long time, that we know of that Boba Fett saw a lightsaber. And he had these ill feelings towards the Jedi after Mace killed his father. You don't think maybe he was just like, lightsaber, must kill, must kill, must kill, and he had tunnel vision on that lightsaber and on Luke, and he's saying Jedi, and then just in time for somebody to boom, and he did not see it coming. Do you think that's a possibility?
That's a possibility, but at the same time, he still got poked in the back with a stick by a blind guy. I don't care if he's tunnel vision or not. It was a stick. All he did was poke him in the back.
It was actually was it a vibro axe?
It was actually a blaster. It was actually it was
like a lance.
Yeah, it was like a lance blaster thing. Yeah.
It was a vibro axe, if I remember correctly.
No, it wasn't a vibro axe.
No, it wasn't a vibro axe. Hang on. Hang on, I'll find it.
It was a skiff guard's pike.
Yeah, pike.
I don't think it was. Hang on just a second. Let's find out. We're gonna do some research for you guys. Let's see here. What did Han use to, as Chris so elegantly put it, poke Boba Fett in the back with?
Look, plain and simple. He got poked in the poop chute, then he went down the poop chute. That was the end of him.
He didn't get poked in the poop chute. He got poked on his
jetpack,
which caused the jetpack to launch, which made him lose control, and he slammed it inside his skiff, then fell into the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
Wow. you guys are a little more passionate about this than I am, and that's saying something, man. Holy crap!
If you're gonna get the scenario right, get it right. Yeah, he slammed it inside the skiff and he fell.
Chris, let me ask you this: do you think he would have actually killed that Jedi had it been a gray Jedi?
No, because gray Jedis don't exist.
Well, I just thought I'd ask. Yeah, that's all. My bad. Didn't mean to. Oh, here it is. Okay, wait. What is it? What is it? He hit him with?
Don't exist.
No, it was the blaster. It was the blaster staff that Leia had when she came in the Bausch disguise.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's what it was.
He still just poked him in the back. Point still stands.
That's a pretty big poke, man. I mean, I poked a lot of people, and I've never seen an explosion like that. That sounded worse than I meant. I am sorry. I was thinking about it. As I was saying it, my brain was going, no, don't fucking say that. And then it left my mouth anyway. Okay, so this next issue I wanted to talk about is one that I think we're probably going to dwell on for the rest of the episode, just because I know how everybody feels about it. If and when, because, well, I'm just going to say when, because we know it's going to happen at some point. When Revan is officially made canon, will Revan be male or female? And I'm just going to let you guys decide who goes first on that one.
Uh-oh.
I'll go first, because then everybody can debate off of what I say. They're eradicating everything else that you know of Revan. We know the book is not canon. We know that the Knights of the Old Republic games are not canon. Okay? Now we look at Revan, and just for the sake of argument, let's look at the first game. When you first set up the game, you got to choose whether Revan was male, female, black, white, could have been alien. You could have made Revan whatever you wanted Revan to be. I think Disney and Lucasfilm, if they ever finally bring Revan into canon, has that license to be able to say, here's Darth Revan, but we decided to make it a Zabrek female instead of a human male. And I don't think anybody would really have that much of an issue with it because, again, it goes back to what Revan was originally designed to be. Revan was originally designed to be a character in a role-playing game that you could decide it would be.
See, in the old EU, though, they did confirm, when that was still canon, they did confirm that Revan was a male in the old EU. That's why I lean more towards making Revan female in the new canon. I think, because then it would really help solidify in some people's minds when they, if we get an Old Republic movie and we get Darth Revan, and Darth Revan's a female, it's going to solidify in a lot of people's minds who still have this headcanon crap saying that those are still canon and that that those books are still canon. That would instantly null and void everything they know, and they would have no argument against it whatsoever.
Well, that's another factor I'm going to throw in there is right now Lucasfilm is run by Kathleen Kennedy. Right. Kathleen Kennedy is very pro-strong female characters. And as of yet, we haven't had a strong female antagonist in Star Wars movies. So to bring Revan to the big screen and then make Revan female would fit both criteria.
Mario, what do you think, bud?
I think he's going to be a male. And I think he's going to be played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Better
He's
than
gonna he's going to do the wink under the mask. You're going to see it.
But he's already busy making like 70 other movies this week.
Yeah, like 60 of them are Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, no crap.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. Actually, you know what? You may not be wrong about The Rock, though. I'd rather see him play Darth Bane, though.
Yeah, he's got a better bill for Darth Bane. Darth Bane was very muscular.
No. If I were going to have Rock play in a movie with Darth Revan, I would make him, Darth Malice.
Malik wasn't very built, though.
No,
he was pretty.
Bane was very built.
Yeah, Bane was built.
And the thing is, I just hope if they bring him in to do a Darth, like a Darth Bane, I hope they have the AC set to like 50 for him so he's not all sweaty the entire time like every other movie he's in.
He bathes in baby oil before every movie.
Oh my God. But Mario, you think he's going to be male?
Yeah.
Why don't you think they would ever consider making Revan female? I'm not trying to make you sound like a sexist. I promise to God, I'm not trying to do that. But why do you feel that way?
I just feel that if they change it to, I mean, like you said, there was a definitive answer of who Bane was or what he was. But I think did I say Bane?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry. But either way, I don't think they're going to consider it. Yeah, I think they will consider it, but I think it's really going to depend on who they want to play the character, as in the actor. Because whoever plays the character, they have to be fine with pretty much not showing their face the entire movie. And that's a big commitment for an actor to have their face pretty much hidden the whole movie. And not many actors pull that off, and not many actors would like to do that. So I think that would come into consideration. And I feel like if they did, choose to put Revan into a movie, I feel like they would play it as a secret. You won't know who or what he is until later in the movie.
I was just about to say, you say putting him in a mask and committing to that mask. What if they did this exact same thing they did with Darth Vader in the original trilogy, where David Prowse played the character, but James Earl Jones was the voice, and then by the time of the reveal, it was Sebastian Shaw, behind the mask, even though we know it was David. Basically, 3 people played Vader.
4, technically, if you include
the stunt man who did the sword fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if they did that with Revan to throw it off even more? then you have your main character, be it male or female, just doing the voiceover until it's time for the facial reveal.
Mm-hmm. Matt, what do you think?
Oh, I think everyone here has brought up some interesting points. What I'd like to see it go. I like to see them make it a female, because you have all these strong female heroes now that are coming out, and they're making it more popular. Yeah, give us a female villain. Why not? I mean, not to shortchange them at all. Just make it full circle. Don't just make them all bad guys, all good guys. But as far as it being a male character, that's what we know. That's what we feel it as, you know. But it can go either. It can go either way. It can go either way. I mean, I just like to see how they play it. But that's me. I always like to. I want to see how the character plays out. That's always been my thing. If they play it right, I'm satisfied, male, female. But if they don't play it right, I'm like, oh, this could have been such a better, different direction they could have taken. That's me.
Christina?
I'm actually going to say male, and I'll explain why. I'm going to go on a slightly different approach to everyone else. As we know, a few years ago now, Disney acquisitioned LucasArts and all the properties involved with LucasArts. Yes. Including in that property is a very popular, actually not as popular now, but still popular MMO, The Old Republic, that has an entire chapter line dedicated to Revan. And I know they're not canon right now, but however, Disney owns that. Disney's making a profit off of this MMO. They've been pushing out the new content. They've been helping design the new content, which has been coming out, mind you. Now, in the game, Revan is male. Mm-hmm. You see Revan without his mask, he is male. I think they're going to keep with male so they don't have to do a major rehash of the game. Because then at that point, it's going to cause a huge conflict with another entity they have going under their gaming development, which is now going to cause an issue, which has been out for years. The books are one thing. The books you can, because they're written by independent authors. This is something which is already owned by Disney. Even though it's not canon and they're kind of just keeping it to the side, or they at least have licensing rights to the game. I know BioWare is the publisher, but they have licensing rights to it. So I really feel that's one of the reasons they're going to say, something, we're going to have to make this character male is for this main reason right here. So we don't have to pay for a huge overhaul of this chapter.
That's a really good point too, actually.
My only counterpoint to it is simply because of the fact Disney owns LucasArts is not necessarily a reason why they would make Revan male just because a non-canon video game he's male. Because LucasArts is still profiting off of the books. They're re-releasing the Legends books. They're making money and profit off of it. Go buy a modern copy of any of the Legends books that's got the Disney logo on the back. It didn't change the story though.
But the difference is this is an MMO that is evolving and playing on a regular basis. The books are books. The books have been written, and that's what they are. The game evolves and it changes all the time. For them to have to change something like that, it's going to piss a lot of their subscribers off on that, and that's something they take into consideration. Or at least they should, unlike some online companies like Sony Online Entertainment. But I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I'm still salty to this day from Star Wars Galaxies. Just saying.
Oh God.
I still have a huge hatred towards Sony Online Entertainment's MMO division because of that game. But
here's the thing though: the people who play that game know that it's not canon. Mm-hmm. They know that going into it. So if they did a female Revan, would it really be that big a deal?
Well, here's the thing: none of the characters are canon. Satele Shan is not canon. None. Darth, I'm sorry, there are a couple canons, because Darth Bane is canon now, okay? So,
yeah,
I will say that. So, there's a couple of the characters are starting to drift into canon, but they're being represented in a similar way as the game. To do such a major, they had a whole chapter surrounding Revan. It wasn't just like, in fact, they have that, and they have a whole nother storyline quest earlier where you go after Revan. So, Revan pops up twice in this game as a male. So it would take a huge restructure just to change that, and you'd have to run through the whole thing again, or I don't know how they would address it. To bring something into canon means that in a non-canon world, especially on a video game, it would have to change as well. And I don't think if Disney's smart, they would leave it the way it is and just bring it into mail just for that pure fact of they would get the same effect and they would save them a lot of money of having to overhaul this MMO to make this to correct what they changed.
But why would they have to overhaul it though?
I have a question for you guys. What if Revan's an ideal?
See,
Okay,
that would be cool.
That would be different.
For the argument, Darth Revan the male existed in the Old Republic times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that story is known, both canon and non-canon. Darth Revan existed.
Right.
But what if Darth Revan the persona is almost like a Darth Plagueis the Wise, where it's a Sith Lord, and we have a character who turns to the dark side for the sake of argument and actually finds like a holocron of Revan or Revan's old uniform or outfit and comes to the new
The mask. It would have to be the mask.
canon, mask, whatever, into the new storyline, and that could be a female Revan. Would anybody have issues with that?
It's interesting. I don't know how well it would play out, though. It's one of those things that if they went that route, I'd have to see how it played out before I can make a decision on it. Because it could be done really well, or it could just be done horribly. So it's
kind of like the Dread Pirate Wesley type thing.
Dread Pirate Roberts, not just Dread Pirate Wesley.
But you know what I mean. You know what I meant. Sorry,
same ideal is the argument of the 25 James Bond films where they were all James Bond, but they were all different James Bond because James is actually an alias, an identity rather than an actual person.
Thus, the connection to The Rock, where they say that Sean Connery's character in The Rock was James Bond, but that's on a different show, so pay attention to Realm of the Mist. Remember, subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Chris, when you were saying, what if Revan was an ideal, like I had this scenario going in my head, and then I instantly derailed it on my own. I was sitting there thinking, what if during the Jedi-Sith wars that were going on back then, what if Revan never actually existed, but it was like a propaganda character kind of thing, kind of like Uncle Sam is to America? And then everybody kind of get behind that symbol of a Darth that never even existed. But then I started thinking about like Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin. And how they screwed that up. I was like, I don't know if I could do it with Revan, man.
No, that would crush a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Oh, don't start that. Don't start that.
But if it was done right, what would you guys like to see something like that where Revan never existed, but it was more of a propaganda thing?
Well, if I saw it that way, I would rather see it where
possibly
Kylo Ren becomes Revan. If we were going to do it that way, I would rather see it that way where Kylo right now aspires to be like his grandfather, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
All right? Hear me out on this.
Mm-hmm.
Kylo becomes so powerful, he supersedes Darth Vader and takes on his own persona, Darth Revan. Which would also be Darth Sith.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm digging that too much because
I don't know.
I think it's a cheap way to go out with it. And I think it's going to, if anything, I think it's a cheesy way to go with that. And honestly, it's just going to, it's like a cop out almost. It's because now you're going to go, okay, well it's going to seem like we can't write this character anymore. So let's just take this legend stuff and throw it towards Kylo Ren. Mm-hmm. So no, I can't get behind it. I'm sorry.
No, see, I don't. The only reason I was even thinking of it is looking at Mario's background and seeing all the Kylo Ren stuff.
Oh, look, you made him hang up.
Oh, way to go!
And the mask is very.
But at least his picture's Kylo Ren,
which we know from the beginning. Which we know from the beginning, Kylo's mask and all was based off of Kylo Ren's, off of Darth Revan's. Right. So you would almost think that if they were going to do that type of design, they would put it in that direction, and that's why they did that to Kylo.
Right.
That's why I brought it up. I'm not saying I'm right. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think it's a stretch. I honestly do think it's a stretch.
See, like we were talking before the show when I brought up Darth Bane, because Bane is canon. The character Bane is canon. Mm-hmm. My beloved Bane trilogy is not necessarily canon, but nonetheless. In that trilogy, Bane learned from Revan's holocron. So Revan was way before Bane, and Bane came out with the Rule of Two, which that part is canon. Yoda said, you started the Rule of Two in Clone Wars. So it was Darth Bane that started that. And if Revan was part of the teachings for Bane, he would have to be thousands of years ago. You know what I mean? Like, would I be surprised if they did what you said and made Kylo Revan? Yeah, I'd be surprised as hell. Would I be fully against it? I don't know. I'd have to wait for it to actually happen and to experience it before I could actually say whether or not I'd be on board with that.
Well, the long and the short of it is Darth Revan is going to become canon.
At some point, yes.
Planned to be canon for a very long time. Back when the EU was still the EU, was still the proper canon, Revan was canon. When Clone Wars was on TV before it got cut short before its final season, Dave Filoni had a story and episode for Darth Revan. The character was drawn. The Legends character was becoming canon until Lucasfilm pulled the license, released season 6 on Netflix, and that was the end of it.
Right.
You know, but Dave Filoni will tell you, Revan was coming.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me a character like that was right there and ready to go is just going to go on the back burner and never come back. Revan's coming. They're just looking for the right way to bring it.
Yeah, I'm actually just looking up the drawings of the Revan they used in Clone Wars.
Oh, the 3D model?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
See, what surprises me is that
and I'm sorry to say, it's definitely a male draw. It's definitely more of a male style body.
It is?
Oh, okay. Definitely. Yeah, it's got the wide shoulders, narrower hips. It's...
See, I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? I forget what I was going to say. Oh, I can't figure out why, if Revan was that close to having the trigger pulled on him to make canon, and that there's actually like unfinished footage of him from Clone Wars, why would you put that on the back burner for a minute and then reach out and pull Thrawn into Rebels instead?
Thrawn makes more sense in that timeline.
Well, that's true too, but I mean, you could put Revan in a comic book somewhere as like a flashback scene, or like the perfect opportunity. Chris, I know you're not big on the Dr. Aphra comic, but the Dr. Aphra comic would be a really great way to introduce Darth Revan as canon at this point. Just because of him, you know, having existed so long ago, she could find his mask or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that would bring more authenticity to Dr. Aphra.
Can I actually bring in a theory?
Sure.
All right, we've all seen Rebels, correct?
Right.
Mostly, yes.
Ezra Bridger.
I don't buy it.
What if he is actually... They're not saying he is Darth Revan. What is...
Right.
That was Disney's attempt, like saying, you know something? Let's make a Darth Revan... Because his storyline is very similar to Darth Revan. He was a Jedi who went dark side and came back. So, which is the exact same thing that happened to Revan, except for there was a lot more torture and stuff like that involved with Revan. So, what if Ezra was really the attempt to make Revan, to see if a Revan-style character would be viable?
When did Ezra become dark side and go back light?
It was like the end of season 2?
I think so.
When he had the Sith holocron. He opened the Sith holocron, and you have to use the dark side to do that.
No, he opened the Sith holocron, but he never actually turned.
Turned to the dark
empty,
side.
But he never actually turned.
That means he's a great Jedi.
Oh!
Tempted, but he remained with the light.
Right.
Great Jedi do not fucking exist!
Oh, here we go!
Yes! Yes, they do.
Yes!
Let
yes!
the hate blow through you.
I'm a vegetarian who eats meat. It doesn't fucking make sense! But vegetarians don't make sense either, so fuck it.
Tell us how you really feel, Chris.
I am so sick of these fucktards who want to be able to play the good guy but still use the evil shit. No. Dark, dead, motherfuckers. Fucking great Jedis do not exist. You cannot be a Jedi and use the dark side. It doesn't exist. It doesn't work that way. You can't use the dark side of duct tape to hold shit together. You gotta use the light side. Motherfuckers.
My rant was so much better, though. So worth it. So worth it.
Star Wars gave you your gray Jedi in Rebels. They're called the fucking Bendu because they are the neutral characters. They are not Jedi. They are not Sith. They are not part of that world whatsoever. They sit right in the middle and say the Force is the Force. That's it. They're big, hulking-looking moose creature rock fighters from the fucking never-ending story. That's your gray Jedi. Shut up.
I told you I'd get him to go off, Brian.
I love it. I love it. Oh, for those of you guys that don't know, Chris has a little bit of a certain feeling towards Grey Jedi.
If you hadn't noticed,
he feels a certain kind of way about him, and
I feel the way I feel about Grey Jedi. It's very simple. I never cared up until the point that it was blatantly stated by Lucasfilm, that it was blatantly stated by George Lucas himself, and that it was blatantly stated by Pablo Hidalgo, the keeper of Lucasfilm canon right now. Grey Jedi is not a thing in the Star Wars universe. But yet people still want to argue with the people who write the fucking shit. It's not, doesn't exist. It's not coming. It's not going to come. Let it go.
But wouldn't it be hysterical at this point if it did show up?
Oh my God. Okay, the day... Oh, Jesus. We have to do a special video the day Grey Jedi are made canon. We have to do it.
I'll eat crow. I don't mind. But right now, it has been blatantly stated.
It's
quit your fucking bitching.
It's going to be a beautiful... If that happens, it's going to be a beautiful day.
I will be the first one to say that if they ever fucking backtrack on what they said and they make it canon, I will eat crow. But until that time, Lucasfilm has stated Grey Jedis do not and will not exist.
Fair
Period.
enough. Fair enough. Hey, we lost Mario. He said his power just went out. Same thing happened to me like 2 weeks ago. So
I think that was last week, wasn't it?
Was it last week? Yeah, because I had to go outside and get on my phone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm breaking the fourth wall. Another one of our wonderful Realm of the Mist shows. Remember, subscribe, like, comment.
Absolutely. So what are we looking like on time, guys? How long have we been going?
That's a good question. 52 minutes, 20 seconds.
Wow. What do you guys say we start wrapping her up and letting everybody know where they can find us at and go from there? Chris, you want to start it?
Fine, since you already got me pissed off. Right after we're done this, we're going to go into a rant video, which you will find on Realm of the Mist Entertainment on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to that button. Also, you can go to realmofthemist.com. You can find me there. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Press A Gaming, Breaking the Fourth Wall, Raise the Underground on RadioCast FM, and anywhere else I fucking want to be. Because unlike the Great Jedi, I fucking exist.
Just keep telling yourself that.
Wow, breathe, Chris. Breathe, goddammit. Holy shit.
I think you got your beat, bud.
No.
I think he's trying to take my crown.
I don't think it's... He's still not there.
Oh, God, I needed that. Christina, where can they find you at?
You can find me on my show, my channel, That Trans Geek Girl. You can also find me on Breaking the Fourth Wall. On this show, War of the Stars. Behind the scenes on majority, if not all, the Realm of the Mist shows in one way or another. As well as Press A Gaming and, God, more stuff than I care to realize. That's about it. I'm everywhere.
Matt?
You can find me DMing and hosting on Gaming XP, found here on Realm of the Mist. You can catch me on Breaking the Fourth Wall with my other my fellow co-hosts, which you see before you now. If you need to find me on Facebook, Matthew Cruz with two T's, or you can find me, you can email me at fox with 2 X's C77@gmail.com. You can subscribe to all our channels. You know where to find us. You know where we're at.
And you guys can find me right here on War of the Stars every week or also on Breaking the Fourth Wall if Chris ever lets me back on the show again after bringing up Grey Jedi. You can also find me at the Star Wars Canon Library, where I'm keeping all the canon in chronological order for you guys. Make sure to check out the website, www.starwarscanonlibrary.com. Before we sign off, guys, anything else anybody wants to say?
Yes, just real quick about that. You'll be on the next show because I actually control the Skype calls 9 times out of 10.
Uh-oh.
I'm still in fairness, Ryan, you got your revenge for last week's Breaking the Fourth Wall on the movie trivia game. I know I still owe it to Matt, but you got yours on this one.
Yeah! All right, that's what I like to hear.
All right, so 1 payback down, 4 to go?
4 or 5 to go.
Oh, just wait. Just wait.
Oh, yeah, just wait till next episode of Gaming XP to see what because one rule, there's certain people you don't mess with in life. And just remember this, you never mess with your mechanic, your chef, or your DM.
Or a Grey Jedi, because they might force choke you.
Yes.
So until
Lightning!
next time,
But it's for good.
Until next time, guys, this is the panel for War of the Stars signing off. Hope you guys have a good evening, and we'll see you guys next week. May the Force be with each and every single one of you guys, always.
May the Force be with you, always.